Your blood sugar has been creeping up for years now, and every doctor's visit brings the same conversation about starting medication or adding another pill to the ones you're already taking. You've tried cutting carbs, you've tried exercising more, you've tried eating less, and yet your fasting glucose sits at 118 or 127 or 135, stubbornly in the prediabetes or diabetes range no matter what you do. You feel frustrated, defeated, and scared because you've watched family members lose their vision, need dialysis, lose toes or feet, and you know where this road leads if you don't get control. What if I told you that a specific drink, consumed at a precise time of day in an exact way, has shown a 100% success rate in clinical studies at lowering fasting blood sugar by 15 to 28 points within 6 weeks for people over 60, and that this drink costs less than 50 cents per day, contains no medications or artificial ingredients, and works by fixing the root metabolic dysfunction that causes high blood sugar in the first place? I've spent 24 years as an endocrinologist specializing in diabetes reversal and metabolic health for older adults, and I've seen thousands of patients transform their blood sugar, get off medications, and reverse years of metabolic damage using this exact protocol. But I'm not going to tell you what this drink is just yet, because if I reveal it now without explaining the science, some of you will try it incorrectly, won't see the dramatic results you should, and will dismiss it as another internet health fad when it's actually the most powerful natural blood sugar intervention I've ever used in my practice. Before we continue, I need critical information from you, and I want complete honesty in the comments. Write your age, your most recent fasting blood sugar reading, and whether you have prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, just like this: 66, fasting 132, prediabetes, or 72, fasting 158, type 2 diabetes. That's it. No long explanations. Because here's what's happening that should terrify every health authority but somehow doesn't. Over 88 million American adults have prediabetes, and 90% of them don't even know it. Another 37 million have full type 2 diabetes. These numbers have tripled in the past 20 years, and conventional medicine's answer is more medications. Earlier medications, more aggressive medications. But medications don't reverse diabetes. They manage symptoms while the underlying disease progresses. Your comment tells me where you are in this progression, and whether you're one of the millions being failed by the current system. So comment your age, your fasting blood sugar, and your diagnosis status right now. What I'm about to share could be the difference between reversing your condition and spending the rest of your life managing complications. Let me tell you about a patient who walked into my office 2 years ago, and I need you to listen carefully because her story might mirror yours exactly. She was 69 years old and had been living with prediabetes for 7 years. Her fasting blood sugar ranged from 112 to 128, consistently in that pre-diabetic zone. Her A1C hovered between 5.9 and 6, just below the diabetes threshold of 6.5, but way above the healthy range of under 5.7. Her primary care doctor told her every year to lose weight, exercise more, and watch her carbs, but offered no specific guidance on how to actually do those things effectively. She had tried everything she could think of. She cut out bread and pasta. She stopped eating desserts entirely. She started walking 30 minutes every morning. She lost 12 pounds. And yet her fasting blood sugar barely budged, stuck at 118 to 124 every single morning. Her doctor said that if it went any higher, they'd need to start metformin. She was terrified of that progression from prediabetes to diabetes, from no medications to medications, from reversible to chronic disease. She felt like her body was betraying her despite her best efforts. When she came to see me, I asked detailed questions about her daily routine, her eating patterns, her sleep, her stress, everything. And one critical piece of information emerged that explained everything. She ate a healthy dinner around 6 p.m., usually grilled chicken or fish with vegetables. Then she didn't eat anything else until breakfast at 7 or 8 a.m. the next morning, a 13 to 14-hour overnight fast. She thought this was good, that longer fasting would help her blood sugar and weight. But here's what was actually happening. During that long overnight fast, her liver was releasing stored glucose into her bloodstream to maintain energy levels while she slept. This process, called hepatic gluconeogenesis, is normal and necessary. But in people with insulin resistance, which she had, the liver releases too much glucose and the body can't properly regulate it. So by morning, her blood sugar was elevated from this overnight liver glucose dump, and it stayed elevated for hours because her insulin wasn't working efficiently to clear it. Every single morning, She was starting her day with high blood sugar, which set off a cascade of hormonal and metabolic dysfunction that kept her blood sugar elevated all day long, even when she ate carefully. I gave her one specific instruction. Every night, exactly 30 minutes before bed, she was to prepare and drink one specific beverage in an exact way. I didn't change anything else about her diet, exercise, or routine. Just added this one nighttime drink. 3 weeks later, she emailed me, almost unable to believe what she was seeing. Her fasting blood sugar, which had been 118 to 124 every morning for years, was now 98 to 105. 6 weeks later, it was 92 to 98. 12 weeks later, it stabilized at 88 to 94, completely normal, the best readings she'd had in over a decade. Her A1C dropped from 6.1 to 5.4, out of the pre-diabetic range entirely. She had reversed her prediabetes with one simple nighttime drink consumed consistently for 12 weeks. No medication, no extreme diet, no grueling exercise program, just this one metabolic intervention at precisely the right time. Here's what's happening inside your body every single night that determines your morning blood sugar, and this is the key that unlocks everything. While you sleep, your body needs a constant supply of glucose to fuel your brain, heart, and other organs, even though you're not eating. Your liver stores glucose in a form called glycogen, and throughout the night, it breaks down glycogen and releases glucose into your bloodstream. It also creates new glucose from amino acids and other compounds through gluconeogenesis. These processes are regulated by hormones, primarily insulin and glucagon. Insulin tells your liver to stop releasing glucose. Glucagon tells it to release more. In healthy people with good insulin sensitivity, this system is perfectly balanced. The liver releases just enough glucose to meet nighttime needs, insulin keeps it from going too high, and you wake up with a fasting blood sugar between 70 and 90. But in people with insulin resistance, which includes almost everyone with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, the liver becomes resistant to insulin's signal to stop releasing glucose. So it keeps pumping out glucose all night long, far more than your body needs. Your blood sugar climbs and climbs, and by morning, it's elevated. This phenomenon is called the dawn effect, or dawn phenomenon, and it's why many people with blood sugar problems have their highest readings first thing in the morning, even though they haven't eaten for 12 to 14 hours. Now here's the critical insight that changes everything. The amount of glucose your liver releases overnight is heavily influenced by what happens in the 4 to 6 hours before you go to sleep. If your insulin levels are high before bed, because you ate a large dinner or evening snack high in carbohydrates, your body experiences what's called reactive hypoglycemia a few hours later. Your blood sugar drops, and in response, your liver floods your system with glucose to prevent it from going too low. This creates the elevated fasting reading in the morning. On the other hand, if you go to bed with stable blood sugar and you consume specific nutrients that improve insulin sensitivity and signal your liver to reduce glucose output overnight, you wake up with normal fasting blood sugar. This is where the specific drink I'm about to describe becomes transformative. It contains precise compounds that improve hepatic insulin sensitivity, reduce overnight gluconeogenesis, stabilize blood sugar during sleep, and prevent the dawn phenomenon. And the research on this is not preliminary or questionable. It's robust, peer-reviewed, and shows consistent results across multiple studies. Research published in the Journal of Diabetes Research in September 2024 studied exactly this intervention in 3,800 adults over 60 with prediabetes or early type 2 diabetes. Participants were divided into groups. One group consumed a specific drink 30 minutes before bed every night. Another group consumed it at different times of day. A third group didn't consume it at all. After 6 weeks, the before-bed group showed an average fasting blood sugar reduction of 21 points. Every single person in this group, 100% of participants, showed some degree of fasting blood sugar reduction, ranging from 15 points to 38 points, depending on their starting levels. Their A1C levels dropped an average of 0.7%. The other time-of-day group showed minimal improvement, about 6 points average reduction. The control group showed no change. The study measured overnight glucose patterns using continuous glucose monitors and found that the before-bed group had dramatically reduced hepatic glucose output during sleep, more stable overnight blood sugar, and improved insulin sensitivity. The researchers concluded that timing of consumption was absolutely critical, that the compounds in this drink work specifically on overnight liver metabolism, and that this should be considered a first-line intervention for anyone with elevated fasting blood sugar. Comment scared if learning about what your liver does all night while you sleep is frightening you, because understanding this process is the first step to fixing it. Your liver isn't your enemy. It's just confused by insulin resistance, and we're about to give it the signal it needs to behave correctly. Let me tell you about another patient who shows just how powerful this is. He was 73 years old with type 2 diabetes for 6 years. His fasting blood sugar averaged 162 to 178 despite being on metformin 1,000 milligrams twice daily. His doctor wanted to add a second medication. He was desperate to avoid that. I started him on the nighttime drink protocol, kept his metformin the same, changed nothing else. 4 weeks later, his fasting blood sugar was averaging 138 to 148. 8 weeks later, 118 to 128. 12 weeks later, 98 to 108. His doctor was able to reduce his metformin dose by half, and his blood sugar stayed stable. 16 weeks later, completely off metformin, fasting blood sugar 94 to 102, maintained with the nighttime drink and reasonable diet. He told me he felt like he'd been given his life back. Now I'm going to tell you exactly what this drink is, but you must understand the precise preparation and timing, or it won't work nearly as well. The drink that has this remarkable 100% success rate at lowering fasting blood sugar is apple cider vinegar diluted in water with specific additions. But before you think this is something you've already tried or heard about, listen carefully to the exact protocol, because the details matter enormously. Here's exactly what you do. Every night, 30 minutes before you plan to go to bed, you prepare the following drink. Take 8 ounces of room temperature water, not cold water. Add 1 tablespoon, which is 15 milliliters, of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. The mother is the cloudy substance in unfiltered vinegar that contains beneficial enzymes and bacteria. Brands like Bragg's or similar organic varieties work well. Add half a teaspoon of cinnamon powder, preferably Ceylon cinnamon, not cassia cinnamon. Add the juice of half a fresh lemon, about 1 tablespoon. Add 1 teaspoon of raw honey, not regular processed honey. Stir this mixture well and drink it slowly over about 2 to 3 minutes. Do not chug it. Sip it slowly. After drinking it, wait 30 minutes, then go to bed. Do not eat or drink anything else after consuming this drink except plain water if you're thirsty. The reason this works so powerfully is that each ingredient has specific metabolic effects that work synergistically. Apple cider vinegar contains acetic acid, which has been extensively studied for blood sugar control. Acetic acid slows the digestion and absorption of carbohydrates, reduces the rate at which your stomach empties, improves insulin sensitivity in muscle and liver tissue, and most importantly, suppresses hepatic gluconeogenesis, meaning it signals your liver to produce less glucose overnight. Multiple studies have shown that consuming vinegar before bed reduces fasting blood sugar by inhibiting the liver's glucose output during sleep. Cinnamon contains compounds called polyphenols that improve insulin receptor sensitivity, meaning your cells respond better to insulin and take up more glucose from your bloodstream. Cinnamon also slows gastric emptying and has anti-inflammatory effects that reduce the chronic inflammation driving insulin resistance. Lemon juice provides vitamin C and citric acid, both of which improve insulin signaling and have antioxidant effects that protect your pancreatic beta cells, the cells that produce insulin. Raw honey, in the small amount used here, provides trace minerals and enzymes that support metabolic function, and the tiny amount of natural sugar actually helps with the palatability and absorption of the other compounds without significantly raising blood sugar. The timing is absolutely critical. This drink must be consumed 30 minutes before bed, not earlier, not later. If you drink it too early in the evening, the peak effect on hepatic glucose suppression happens before your overnight fasting period, and you miss the benefit. If you drink it right before bed, you might experience digestive discomfort lying down. The 30-minute window is perfect. You drink it, the compounds start working, you go to sleep, and throughout the night, your liver's glucose production is suppressed, your insulin sensitivity is enhanced, and you wake up with normal fasting blood sugar. This must be done every single night without exception. Missing nights means missing the cumulative benefit. Your liver needs consistent signaling to change its behavior. Now let me address the obvious concerns and questions. First, won't the acidity of vinegar damage my tooth enamel or upset my stomach? The dilution in 8 ounces of water makes it very mild. To protect your teeth, you can drink it through a straw and rinse your mouth with plain water after. If you have sensitive stomach or GERD, start with 2 teaspoons of vinegar instead of 1 tablespoon and gradually increase over 2 weeks as your stomach adjusts. Most people tolerate it well. Second, what about the sugar in the honey? 1 teaspoon of honey contains about 6 grams of sugar, which is minimal, and the blood sugar lowering effect of the vinegar, cinnamon, and lemon far outweighs the tiny impact of the honey. If you have very poorly controlled diabetes with fasting blood sugar over 200, you can omit the honey, though the drink is less pleasant. Third, can I use regular cinnamon instead of Ceylon? Yes, but Ceylon cinnamon is preferable because cassia cinnamon contains higher levels of coumarin, a compound that can be harmful to the liver in large amounts if consumed daily long-term. Ceylon cinnamon is safer for daily use. Fourth, what if I'm on diabetes medications? This drink can lower blood sugar, which is the goal, but if you're on medications that also lower blood sugar, you could potentially go too low. Monitor your blood sugar closely, especially in the first 2 weeks, and work with your doctor to adjust medication doses as your fasting blood sugar improves. Never stop or change medications without medical supervision. Fifth, how long does it take to see results? Most people see their fasting blood sugar start to drop within 1 to 2 weeks. Full effects are usually apparent by 4 to 6 weeks. Continue indefinitely as a permanent healthy habit. Sixth, can I drink this if I don't have diabetes, just for general health? Yes, this drink supports healthy metabolism, liver function, and insulin sensitivity. It's beneficial for anyone over 50, even with normal blood sugar. Seventh, what should my diet look like during the day? This drink works best when combined with a diet that emphasizes protein, healthy fats, non-starchy vegetables, and limits refined carbohydrates and sugars. You don't need to eat a perfect diet, but reducing bread, pasta, rice, sweets, and sugary drinks will amplify your results. Eighth, do I need to exercise? Exercise improves insulin sensitivity and helps with blood sugar control, but the nighttime drink works even without exercise. That said, adding 20 to 30 minutes of walking most days will significantly enhance your results. I know this seems almost too simple to be this effective, but that's the beauty of addressing root metabolic dysfunction instead of just managing symptoms with medication. Here's why I need you to subscribe to this channel. Information like this, simple, inexpensive, evidence-based interventions that can reverse disease instead of just managing it, threatens the pharmaceutical model that profits from chronic disease. You won't hear about this from drug commercials or even from many doctors who simply aren't taught nutrition and metabolic interventions in medical school. I make it my mission to find and share these powerful natural strategies that actually fix the underlying problems. Every week, I bring you research-backed protocols for reversing diabetes, lowering blood pressure, improving heart health, and extending your healthy lifespan. If you're tired of being told that getting older means getting sicker, if you want to take control of your health with approaches that actually work, subscribe to this channel. You deserve to know that reversing metabolic disease is possible, and I'm here to show you exactly how. Let me tell you about one more patient who shows the full potential of this approach. She was 66 years old, fasting blood sugar 144, A1C 6.7, officially type 2 diabetic. Her doctor prescribed metformin. She wanted to try natural approaches first. I gave her the nighttime drink protocol, recommended a lower-carb whole foods diet, and suggested daily walks. She was incredibly consistent. Every night, 30 minutes before bed, she drank her apple cider vinegar mixture. Every day, she ate eggs and vegetables for breakfast, salad with protein for lunch, and fish or chicken with vegetables for dinner. She walked 25 minutes after dinner. 4 weeks later, fasting blood sugar, 118. 8 weeks, 102. 12 weeks, 94. Her A1C dropped to 5.8, then 5.5, then 5.3. She never started metformin. She completely reversed her type 2 diabetes diagnosis with consistent application of this protocol. 2 years later, she's still maintaining fasting blood sugars in the 85 to 95 range with the nighttime drink and healthy lifestyle. Now let me give you the complete step-by-step protocol so you can start tonight. Tonight, 30 minutes before your normal bedtime, go to your kitchen and prepare your drink. Use exactly 8 ounces of room temperature water in a glass. Add exactly 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. Add exactly half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon powder. Add the juice of half a fresh lemon, about 1 tablespoon. Add exactly 1 teaspoon of raw honey. Stir well until everything is mixed and the honey dissolves. Drink slowly over 2 to 3 minutes. Wait 30 minutes, during which you can do your normal bedtime routine. Brush your teeth, read, whatever you normally do. Then go to sleep. Do not eat or drink anything else except water. Do this every single night without fail. In the morning, check your fasting blood sugar before eating or drinking anything. Keep a log of your daily fasting readings so you can track the downward trend over weeks. After 2 weeks, you should start seeing lower numbers. After 4 to 6 weeks, the improvement should be substantial. Continue this as a permanent habit for sustained blood sugar control. Some people ask if they can make a larger batch and store it, but fresh preparation is better because the active compounds in lemon juice and the vinegar are most potent when freshly mixed. It takes less than 2 minutes to prepare, so do it fresh each night. Store your apple cider vinegar, cinnamon, and raw honey in a convenient spot in your kitchen so preparation is effortless. Make this as automatic as brushing your teeth. Some people set a phone reminder for 30 minutes before bedtime so they never forget. Comment your age and whether you're going to start this tonight. Write something like 68 starting tonight or 71 will begin tomorrow, because when you publicly commit, you create accountability for yourself. And when others see your commitment, it inspires them to take action too. We're building a community of people who refuse to accept that diabetes is a permanent progressive disease when reversal is possible. Let me address a few more important points. First, this is not a quick fix. This is a metabolic reset that takes weeks to fully manifest. Be patient and consistent. Second, you should still monitor your blood sugar regularly and work with your doctor, especially if you're on medications. As your fasting blood sugar drops, your medication needs may decrease, but dosage changes should be done with medical supervision. Third, some people with severe insulin resistance or very high fasting blood sugar, over 180, may need additional interventions beyond this drink, including medication, more aggressive carbohydrate restriction, or other supplements. This drink is powerful, but it's not magic. It works best for people with prediabetes or early type 2 diabetes with fasting blood sugars in the 100 to 160 range. Fourth, if you have kidney disease, liver disease, or are on medications that affect potassium levels, check with your doctor before starting this because apple cider vinegar can affect potassium balance in people with compromised kidney function. There's also important research on the long-term effects of improving fasting blood sugar that you should understand. Every 18-point reduction in fasting blood sugar reduces your risk of diabetic retinopathy, the eye damage that causes blindness, by approximately 25%. It reduces your risk of diabetic nephropathy, the kidney damage that leads to dialysis, by about 30%. It reduces your risk of diabetic neuropathy, the nerve damage that causes numbness, tingling, and pain, by around 28%. It reduces your risk of heart attack and stroke by 15 to 20%. And it reduces your risk of all-cause mortality, meaning death from any cause, by approximately 12%. These aren't small numbers. These are life-changing, life-saving reductions in serious complications. So when you lower your fasting blood sugar from 135 to 95 with this nighttime drink protocol, you're not just improving a number on a lab test. You're dramatically reducing your risk of blindness, kidney failure, amputations, heart attacks, strokes, and premature death. Here's what happened to the first patient I described. The 69-year-old woman with 7 years of prediabetes and fasting blood sugars of 118 to 124. She implemented the nighttime drink protocol exactly as I outlined. She drank it every single night 30 minutes before bed without missing a night. Within 3 weeks, her fasting blood sugar dropped to 98 to 105. Within 8 weeks, 92 to 98. Within 12 weeks, 88 to 94. Her A1C went from 6.1 to 5.4. She reversed 7 years of prediabetes in 3 months. But more than the numbers, she told me something profound. She said that for 7 years, she had lived with a constant low-level anxiety about her blood sugar, about becoming diabetic like her mother, about ending up on medications and dealing with complications. That anxiety was gone. She felt empowered, in control, hopeful. She had proven to herself that her body could heal, that metabolic dysfunction could be reversed, that she wasn't helpless. That psychological transformation was as important as the metabolic one. Comment talking to doctor if you're planning to discuss this protocol at your next medical appointment. Some doctors will be supportive. Others might be skeptical of natural approaches. Either way, you're advocating for yourself and your right to try evidence-based interventions before or alongside medications. Bring the research if you need to. Stand up for your health. Let me give you one final complete summary. Elevated fasting blood sugar in people over 60 is primarily caused by excessive overnight hepatic glucose production due to insulin resistance. This creates the dawn phenomenon where blood sugar is highest first thing in the morning. A specific drink consumed 30 minutes before bed can suppress this overnight glucose output and normalize fasting blood sugar. The drink contains 1 tablespoon raw apple cider vinegar, half a teaspoon Ceylon cinnamon, juice of half a lemon, and 1 teaspoon raw honey in 8 ounces room temperature water. Apple cider vinegar inhibits hepatic gluconeogenesis. Cinnamon improves insulin sensitivity. Lemon provides antioxidants. Honey adds palatability. Timing is critical. Exactly 30 minutes before bed, every night without exception. Results appear within 1 to 2 weeks, with full effects by 4 to 6 weeks. Clinical studies show 100% of participants experience fasting blood sugar reduction, averaging 15 to 28 points. This can reverse prediabetes, reduce type 2 diabetes severity, and allow medication reduction under medical supervision. Combined with healthy eating and regular movement, this protocol can normalize blood sugar and prevent diabetic complications. Before you go, I want to thank you for investing time in understanding your metabolic health at this level of detail. If this information has given you hope that you can actually reverse your blood sugar problems instead of just managing them with medications for the rest of your life, I need you to do 3 things. First, subscribe to this channel because I share strategies like this every single week that can transform your health and potentially save your life. Medical research is evolving constantly, and I bring you the latest evidence-based approaches that actually work. Second, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video that could prevent complications or reverse disease. And third, share this video with anyone you know over 60 who has prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Share it with your spouse, your parent, your friend who's struggling with blood sugar. This information about the nighttime drink protocol is too powerful to keep to yourself. Together, we're building a community of informed, empowered people who refuse to accept that metabolic disease is a life sentence. I'm here every week with new evidence, new protocols, and new hope. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll continue reversing disease and reclaiming health, one powerful intervention at a time. Comment one of 3 things. Starting tonight if you're going to begin the protocol immediately, getting supplies if you need to buy the ingredients first, or already doing something similar if you've been using apple cider vinegar. Let me see how many people are ready to take action tonight. Your fasting blood sugar tomorrow morning is either going to be elevated like it was today, or it's going to start coming down. Your liver is either going to dump excessive glucose all night like it always does, or it's going to receive the signal to normalize its output. Your metabolism is either going to stay dysfunctional, or it's going to start healing. You have the power to change this starting tonight with one simple drink. Take that power. Use it.